We are live, coming here with a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Alex. Alex, how you doing tonight?
Yo, yo, yo.
And we are also joined by Andy. Andy, welcome back. How are you doing tonight?
What up, what up?
And we are also joined by a very, very special guest, the one, the only, the host of the challenge, Mr. TJ Lavin. TJ, what do you got for us?
Trev, Alex, and Andy. How you guys doing? TJ Lavin here. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for being fans of the show. I really, really appreciate it. Recapping Spies, Lies, and Allies is going to be badass. You guys are going to absolutely kill it on Stir the Pot challenge recaps. I already know it. So thank you so much for being fans of the show. Thank you so much for doing the damn thing, and Stir the Pot is going to be awesome. All right. So much love, and listen, don't miss the premiere. All right, on Wednesday, 8:30 MTV. I'll see you guys then, and hit me up if you ever come to Vegas, and we'll meet in person. All right, maybe we'll even do it like on the road recap. All right, much love.
God, and we are here with the episode 1 recap show, Spies, Lies, and Allies. And let me tell you, I've been very skeptical of the season. I've said on record, might have been the worst cast of all time. Maybe it's episode 1 jitters and stuff. I fucking love tonight's episode. I think tonight's episode was a great episode. Got me fired up. We're back at it again. The boys are recapping. We see the chat popping, the good old Jesse Adams, Love by You, Mikey the Doctors of the World, Adam Mitos. I mean, there's nothing better than, Wednesday nights hanging out with the STP AWLs out there. And, I'm excited to recap EP1 with you guys. So, Alex, Andy, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, vibes I feel like are very high right now. Very good vibes going tonight during the episode and right now. I mean, we kind of talked about it, how we were all had low expectations for the season in the preview. But I think we're all kind of taking it on an episode-by-episode basis. Tonight was a really good episode. We just heard from the man TJ himself. Like you said, we got all the usuals in the chat back again after a few months. So first episode was good, and I just feel great right now having everybody back together recapping the challenge.
Anything to add, Andy?
No, I mean, I pretty much just echo that. I think it is the, first day of school. Everyone's just in a good mood. I hope we can ride out these vibes. Round 2 tonight. Let's keep these vibes going. But I think I was very impressed with the amount of drama we got. Like, first episode is usually just like you kind of default to the rookies and you just kind of – it starts, you get some partying. We only had one person jump into the pool. Shout out Devin. I was a little – usually you get a couple like somewhat nudity scenes going, people getting drunk, Nani trying to make out with whatever rookie's on. We'll get into that, but I thought this had a lot of juice to it. It wasn't just your run-in-the-mill start, challenge, elimination, done. So it had some drama. So I'm hoping that of all these rookies who are coming from literally all over the world, they might be bringing something. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So just a little disclaimer. I think I'm the only one. I don't know about Andy. Maybe Alex might actually be the only one that have seen the episode. I have not seen EP0, I should say. Sorry, the little special or whatever. So when this episode, so we'll just dive right in right now. Once the episode kind of started, I was expecting the classic house, the house run-in with, fighting over bedrooms. I guess that already happened. So with that being said, episode 1 starts. We see basically the world's running to the U.S. What's your initial thoughts going through your head, Andy?
I thought that part was stupid because, like, the fact that you have – like, this is what frustrated me about it. I like the idea, but when half of the people running, like, you have Kyle. Like, Kyle's, like, one of the best challengers in the show, in my opinion. And you've also got – well, I guess technically Nam. But then a bunch of these, like, absolute no-namers. And then it goes to the American side, and there's also a bunch of no-namers. There just really wasn't much rhyme or reason in a challenge format scenario other than America versus the world, which, like, it's almost like the easy thing to do, but I feel like you could have done much more in a sense that would have actually fit the challenge.
Yeah. Alex, anything?
No, I kind of like the way they started just in terms of like, the first 5-10 minutes of the show are actually like you can watch something happening. I think it's still kind of weird how the cast was 34 people, and it was kind of how they've broken it out so far is 17 Americans and 17 international, but it's also 17 vets and 17 rookies. And those numbers like almost completely align with like the exception of Big T and Kyle and all of that. And so it's just weird how it's like, I don't know, the cast structure is weird. And like, obviously we talked about all the rookies. But I did watch episode 0. It was just the classic, like, you might know me from Survivor, all this stupid stuff. But I do like that they were able to kind of get it going right away. And obviously with the 90-minute episodes there was a lot to talk about, which we'll all get into. But to kind of have the U.S. people chained up to the thing was an interesting twist on it. So like let these people who most of them, aside from Kyle, Big T, don't know anybody there, let them figure it out, pick their partners.
Yeah. I also kind of liked it. I like how they've been doing it. I think they've done it for the past couple seasons where they get right into it. They don't really do, the classic. I always like though, like the Rivals 3 where they're walking into the house, they're fighting over the bedrooms and stuff like that. I feel like they haven't done that in the past couple seasons. But it's nice to just get right into it. The only negative I had, and maybe like I said, I didn't see episode 0, would be it was just so hard to keep up. They went so fast with like the teams and stuff, and like I was just like, who's who? Like who's going where? Who's going there? I mean, realistically, we didn't even really have like a true confessional until like after the game. You know what I'm saying? It was more of like, I'm just excited to go. It wasn't like, hey, my name's Kyle. I've been on the show 7 seasons. We really didn't have any of that, which, for those of you who listened to our preview show and took the over, or I guess it would be the under 2.5 for Corey, I'm sorry. I really thought that would hit for him saying he had kids, and I cannot believe that did not come up once this episode. So,
yeah, and I see a few people saying it in the chat too. One of my biggest takeaways from the episode is I feel like it was more all over the place than your typical challenge episode. And not even in a bad way, but not in a good way necessarily either. It was just like everything you saw was like on the screen for a minute max. And then they switched to this next couple or this next team, whatever. And so it was just hard to keep up with for 90 minutes.
Yeah. And the thing that I just didn't like about it was if it was all vets, I'd be completely fine with that. The fact that we don't know 20 of the 34 or whatever, 17 of the 34, it's like, how are we supposed to know these people? I mean, some airtime. I mean, we talk about CT tonight. CT had not much airtime. Fezzi really didn't have any airtime tonight. I mean, a lot of these big dogs just were gone. I think the biggest vet that had an appearance tonight would be Tori, I would say. So, anything else? Alex, do you kind of, I guess the format of this was basically running to your partner or running to a certain person, and that person would be your partner. You would have to break them out of the chains, and you would have to memorize a code. So what did you guys think about the overall game aspect? Andy.
I'll start. I thought it was so stupid. I had no clue what they were doing. And I thought that was very evident at the fact that Anissa won. That just in my book, that just proves that it was a bad challenge.
But you like Anissa, right?
What?
You think Anissa's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw her in that elimination, she put up a literally legendary performance. But I mean, the whole time I had no clue what was going on, couldn't follow along. Like by the end, when they were doing the elimination, I was thinking, like, wait, what was the challenge? Like, I don't even remember it. So I was very out on the elimination.
Yeah. You mean challenge?
Challenge.
Alex, what'd you think?
So just to give you guys a heads up, there was like a 5-minute scene on episode 0 where they basically handed out like files to the global agents, kind of like scouting reports. And surprisingly, I don't fucking know how, but there was at least like 4 different rookie guys or global guys, whatever, who said, I want Anissa. Like reading the scouting reports and everything, Anissa was like the top person.
TJ must have done one of those where it's like a scouting report and then they put like my face over someone else's face and it's kind of just like a mix match or something.
Or, yeah.
Like Tori or Casey profile, but Anissa's head or something.
Or it was they could have done the classic like LinkedIn pic that's like 25 years old. So you see young Anissa and you're like, oh, she's got it. She's still in shape. She still looks good.
Anissa.
And then you throw it around the center block and it's just, oh, who is this?
Anissa, how many seasons done? 2. Just last updated 2001. Like, just completely out of it. It's almost like giving somebody like a trivia question about something from like 2012 history or something. You know, the higher level guys don't understand that.
So the challenge I thought was pretty weak. One thing that I wish would have happened, and I guess just with the nature of like fucking swinging sledgehammers, it didn't. I wish it would have been something where like let's say Tori's is who I want to get and I'm like unlocking her or whatever. I would have wished that if there was another rookie that also wanted Tori, they could have tried like on a different side of the contraption. And like if they unlock it before me, then they get Tori instead of me. Whereas it seemed like it was kind of just like one long chain or whatever it was, so that it was like if you came up and somebody was already like in the process of doing it, they didn't even try to like take over. So I wish they would have changed the like what it is to escape your partner to something more conducive to that, to where you could actually like compete with other people on who you wanted to get. That's kind of my one thing I didn't like about the challenge. Aside from that, I mean, it wasn't good, but it was kind of expected just in terms of like a drafting, like who you want to be your partner. First team is in power, last team, nothing happens. And then that's really all that happened there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about kind of hinting towards it. Anissa wins this challenge. She's the first one to solve the little puzzle, the code, and run to the victory, I guess, the finish line. I mean, Andy, I know you're probably the biggest betting man on the show. What were the odds of her winning that first challenge?
Plus 950.
Plus 950? Who do you think was the favorite coming in?
Well, see right when the teams were made, I feel like you got to give the favorite to. I honestly don't even know because I don't even remember a third of or half of the teams. I would say CT and whoever is going to be the favorite, especially when Fezzi was not taken early. I mean, that's just smirk city right there.
But you like him though, right?
He sucks, and we'll get into that more as we go beyond the episode, but some things don't change. Death, taxes, Fezzi's an asshole.
God, smirk.
Trevor, what did you think of the challenge? In like the first 20 minutes of the show.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I think it was a different way for rookies to pick the vets. And obviously, like I said, I didn't see the beginning episode, so I had no idea what the profiles were all there and stuff like that. But it's something different, and I was just surprised Anissa won, honestly. I think if you ran that challenge back 15 more times, she would not win. 100 more times, I don't think she would have won once. So surprised by that. But yeah, from there, the one thing I thought this was going to be my moment to just rub it in Alex and Andy's face when Ashley finished last and she was going to be the first one out, and Tej pulls his little University of Tennessee, literally commercial break, 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever, and then he drops the Chattanooga after. And I just cannot believe – I wanted her to go home so bad in that spot just because you guys are always saying how good she is and all this. This is her up year and stuff like this. Where'd you have her ranked, Andy?
Probably 3. Yeah. I've never been overly high on Ashley.
Okay. You were pretty high on her during the preview show. 2-time champ and all this stuff. You were saying – and yeah, I absolutely agree. But she's
I have her above Nani and a bunch of the rookies who don't even know what the challenge is. Sue me.
Oh, relax.
Whoa.
Let's pump the brakes over there. So, yeah, I really just wanted Ashley to go home there and just to kind of prove it, but not so fast, TJ would say. So, yeah. Alex, do you kind of want to go I know there's so many damn teams, but should we kind of go through the teams and, who's with who?
I'm not sure I remember who's with who. I think like one of the teams that I was excited to talk about, for example, was Tori and Kells. And then by the end of the fucking episode, they're already broken up. Like I think, for example, like I think CT and Berna, like I don't know who she is, but we've seen from last season that it's fucking CT. He can do damage with anybody. What do you guys think about Kyle kind of being able to choose between Nani and Amanda and going with Amanda?
I don't mind the move there. I think Nani kind of fucked him over last game.
Yeah.
So you might as well go with someone else.
It's really one of those things where, especially in the past couple years, you know what you're going to get from Nani. Like, we know that. We've talked about that. Kyle knows it. Kyle's not an idiot. I don't think any of us can really say we know for certain what we're going to get from Amanda. Like, is she one of the biggest threats in the game? Probably not. But I do think you have to say probably not. You can't say no. But if you ask, is Nani one of the biggest threats in the game? I think we can all confidently say no. So I like that move out of Kyle. And he talked about it when he made the pick. He was like, I know Amanda is like the spawn of Satan, or however he phrased it, which is just awesome. But he did say, she's got a lot of ties to people in this house. So, I mean, my boy Kyle is already thinking a couple steps ahead. So I like the pick. I like the pick a lot.
Yeah. I wish I'm on the Wikipedia page right now, and the fact that they don't have the teams lined up, I feel like this season for us, I know sometimes we get lost in the sauce on MVP, LVP. We're going to get lost in the sauce on teams. I mean, it's going to be all over the place. We literally had a segment last year called Who's Corey's Partner? Like, that might be broken this year with 12 different partners. That's what I'm just throwing that out there.
Agreed, Trev.
So, is there any other teams that we can think of off the top of our heads right now that we're like, okay, this is an interesting team? Because one of the ones that I thought was interesting, and I don't want to get too far ahead, was Tori and what was the rookie's name? Is it Fake Corey? Was her partner? Her
new partner, Coriel.
Oh no, sorry, reverse. Who was her partner?
Tori was
yes. Kells. Definitely, you can hammer those odds that Tori will hook up with him at some point this season. I think we can all agree on that.
Did you see that pool scene? They were close that night.
God. So
good for Kells. Good for Tori.
God. So yeah. What else?
I think these teams, because they're so rookie heavy, they kind of got to play into the stir to the pod discussion as the episode goes on.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of what else. Last team, boom. So we go back to the house, and what do you think about this whole vet alliance thing? I think it's the smartest thing you can possibly do. You might as well just throw everybody in there, ride out the vibes, and then, because realistically, Survivor does have the numbers. And I'm trying to think the last time, one thing with the vet alliance thing, I love, and who was it? I think it was Nani who said it. A vet is somebody who's played the game for more than 1 year, and a rookie is someone who has not played the game. Oh, thanks, Nani. So I mean, what were they doing with that editing there? Were they just like, yeah, Nani, can you just kind of repeat that for us, or something like that? So yeah.
It was kind of like Casey explaining the rules like after TJ every time.
Yeah, but this isn't like rules or something. This is just like facts. like
just common words.
Yeah, it's just words. So the vet alliance, it looks like it's. I mean, do we think it's going to work, or I should ask, if we do think it's going to work, who's going to be the first person to screw that up?
Good question. I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to work for at least like 4 episodes, because I don't know if it's just the fact that these idiots aren't acting like idiots, but that's always been the challenge. And Justin in the chat said it. That's just good old challenge days. That's just what happens when you're a rookie. If it's not a fresh meat scenario, and what I mean by that is like veterans that have to work with rookies. If that's not the case, the rookies go first every time. That's just how it works. So I'm glad that that's the case because last season that wasn't the case and it was a shit show right out of the gate. So I'm glad to know that they're kind of getting back to the roots. In terms of who's going to be the first one to pull the trigger and break that up, I'm going to say it's going to be someone from Big Brother. That's kind of a cop-out because that takes a few people. But, like, I don't see that being, like, Corey or Nelly. I don't see that being CT. I don't see it being Devin. I don't see it being Kyle. Like, I see it being, like, the Joshes, Caseys of the world, the Fezzies of the world. I think they're the ones who, like, they're always going to be very tight with each other. So I think they're going to be the first ones to pull the trigger.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I think it can work at least till 3 episodes. And then at that point, the numbers are just going to be too small. Because I think it's almost like if you're going to talk vets versus rookies with a season that's partners, I feel like it's 3 different levels. Like, one, there's partnerships that are both rookies, which are the prime targets. And then there's the top, which are like vet and vet, which aren't that many. I think Kyle and Amanda might be the only team that fits that criteria. And then there's everybody else who might be 1 veteran plus 1 rookie. And so I feel like if they're all going to target the double rookie teams, that they're going to be gone pretty quickly. And then I think people are going to start turning on each other. I would say my guess in terms of like if there is a moment where somebody kind of ends it and bombs it up, I would say maybe Ashley or Amanda. And I feel like they, especially Ashley, are the type of person who would like kind of get like offended about like just conversations and like respond to it like too over the top. Like if there's a conversation between voting in another rookie team or like Ashley or Tori or somebody, Ashley might catch wind of that and be like, even if it's not a real conversation, if she catches wind of that, she's going to try to get some of the rookies and kind of flip the house. So I would say it'll last a couple more episodes. I don't know how sturdy it's going to be after that. And I would say maybe one of those girls might fuck it up.
Fair. So after this whole alliance scene that we saw, we kind of got into the whole party aspect, and I forget whose birthday it was. Whose birthday was it?
I think it was 2 different rookies.
Logan and Michelle.
Who cares? So I don't know if just love was in the air tonight or something. Surprised they didn't play that song because how many hookups did we see during that scene? 4 or 5? I mean, we had Ashley and Nelson. We had Nani and Casey. We got Fezzi and Amanda. And didn't we have one more? I could be wrong. I think that might be it. I don't know. But, God, everybody was all over each other. I mean, what's going on? Just people are tired of the COVID out there, and they're just ready to mac on anybody. I mean, Nelson and Ashley, like, what? Where did that come from? And then Nelson just kind of like just drops, all of a sudden. He's kind of just like, yeah, Ashley moved to my hometown, and she lives like right down the street from me now. I mean, like, what the hell? What do you guys think?
I'm all in on Nelly and Amanda. Nashley.
Okay.
I'm all in on Nashley because he's just smirk. Like, no, he's awesome. He's awesome. I don't really like Ashley that much, but I do think she's pretty bad. So good for Nelly.
Yeah. And then the last thing with that whole party thing, and I see it in the chats, thank you, OK Squid, was Devin. I think Devin in his thong, was that just like him just trying to be like bananas-esque? And you know what it actually gave me vibes of? The real male stripper back in the day. Not even back in the day. Johnny Riley. People forget that. I mean, the GOAT of the show. We want Johnny Riley back. Bring Johnny Riley back season 30.
Was that when he was grinding on Nani?
Yes, Rivals. I mean, just awesome.
Poor Kahutta.
God. God.
I mean, Devin, when he put that thong on, you knew he thought he was cooler than anybody in that cast has ever been. He thought that was the coolest, like funniest thing. Everybody's gonna love it, and like that just makes it not cool.
Oh, look at me, I'm Eric. Yeah, like kind of like just all over the place.
I didn't hate it. I actually thought it was kind of funny.
Whoa, you really have done like a full 180 on Devin.
I have. I used to hate him. Devin doing something like this would have pissed me off so much. But I think what I like about him is I think he is way more self-aware now and knew that like when he first started, he thought he was the shit. He thought he was a big bad wolf. And he knows that he's not. And like sometimes he'll even joke about it. But like him doing something like that, it just gave me – I got a lot of old school challenge episode 1 vibes out of this episode. And as much as like I didn't think that whole like thong was funny, it definitely helped in that sense of like that's something that Bananas would have done and would have just like been a goofy like guy. So I actually kind of liked it. No.
And then after that, we kind of got into the whole. I mean, they kind of ended with the whole Fezzi and Amanda makeout sesh, and then I mean, first off, classic shot with Corey on the balcony there, just like chirping from down there. Great job by production there. And then Nelson kind of got in the mix, and we kind of had like a little fight between the two about obviously last year. And I kind of want your take on this, boys. If you're in Nelson's position, what would you do? Would you try to try to make amend, or would you kind of I don't know the best solution for it, like kind of like a bullshit one, and then you try to stab him in the back later, very Banana Sarah's-esque, or would you just say I don't know, what would be your move in his spot?
I mean, honestly, what I would do is it sounded like Fezzi, regardless of how like genuine it might have been, it sounded like he was willing to offer up something to help Nelly T. Like he said, I owe you 1 or 2 at some point. And so if I was Nelly, I would say, like, okay, if when the time comes and I tell you to do this for me, whether it's like selecting the order, selecting who's going into elimination, if I want you to do this and you do it, then okay, we're good. And then we'll figure it out from there. If you don't, then I guess I didn't lose anything because it probably was going to happen anyway. That's kind of what I would play. Like I wouldn't shake his hand right now and say, yeah, we're good. Let's do this. Which is kind of what Corey did last season. I think when Nelly went home, I would just say, let's figure it out. We're cool. I'm not going for you, but show me, do something tangible for me that'll help my game, and then we'll be cool.
Andy, anything or just the same thing?
No, I actually would have handled it exactly how Nelly T did. He just said straight up, like, no, fuck you. You fucked me. Like, I want nothing to do with you. Because even if you tried to do what Alex just said and like say like, okay, yeah, that's fine. There's no trust there between either of them. Like, that trust is just shattered. So to try to like say, yeah, we're cool. I think they would both see through that right away, and they would both like not actually trust each other. So the fact that Nelly T just straight up said like, no, I'm not riding with you. Like, we were boys, and then you totally stabbed me in the back. The fact that he was very like adamant to that and like stuck to his guns, I was all for it. So I would have handled it and he wasn't like overly aggressive. He wasn't like, I'm coming for you, like I'm going to take you out, which I think was good, because if you do that, then you just ruffle way too many feathers right out of the gate. But he was just like, no, like, you're not my guy. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I like Nelly T a lot. I think, and I said he was kind of like my favorite that I want to win the season. And Fezzi, I mean, where do we think the house is on him? Obviously, we all have an opinion on him. obviously he has some alliances with Casey and Josh, but is it really that strong between like the house? Like, I don't think he necessarily has the strongest alliance in the house.
I don't think he does, but I think Fezzi might be one of the biggest. I think he might benefit the most out of all of these rookies, because all of these fucking 24 rookies come into the house kind of just takes the veterans' attention off of the main veteran targets, and so it's like, let's get the rookies out. Whereas like you think about like Nelson shouldn't like Fezzi, CT shouldn't like Fezzi. They were kind of going after him. Devin shouldn't like Fezzi. Kyle shouldn't like Fezzi. But right now, episode 1, 2, they're kind of just focused on the rookies instead.
Absolutely. So after this, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, or steer me in the right direction. We had the list.
Yeah, and that was actually the name of the episode.
No, it was not.
The list. I think it was the name of the episode.
The list.
The list.
God, that cannot be right. I mean, that's like the laziest writing you could possibly have.
But remember back in the day when they would name the episodes like "Down Goes Nehemiah,"
"Down Goes Jordan." So, God, what was there something similar to this? It kind of gave me the one that comes to my head, but obviously I'm not thinking of this. Was the Bananas notes that he wrote? That's like that was going through my head. But wasn't there something else? Or
like with
wasn't it Laurel? Didn't
Laurel?
Laurel, yeah.
God, so classic. So what do you think about that whole scene with the whole list, it getting leaked out? First off, dumbest thing you can possibly do right out of the gate. And when who was it? Was it Emmy? Is that her name? The one that kind of went in as the spy and kind of like got that information. I mean, that's just smirk. Like, that is just classic challenge. Already somebody like one of these rookies throwing at each other, not working together at all. They come in this game, they're like, oh yeah, rookies, let's stick together. Let's knock out these bets. We can do it. Yeah, rah, rah, whatever. And they're literally turning on each other for the first episode. I mean, what do we think?
It's a game of survival.
God.
I mean, I thought it was kind of overblown, and you could tell that like even like I don't even know really I still don't know what the list was or what they said it was. I guess it was just the thing that the vets could point to and say, you're writing these things about us that are bad, that you can't trust these 5 people or whatever. And so I mean if you think about it from the vets, like they've already decided that they're going for some rookie, and there's fucking 18 of them to pick from. So from their standpoint, they're looking for any reason to pick a team.
Oh yeah.
And then you hear about a list and you go for them.
Yeah, if you're a rookie, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I felt like if I'm in the game and I'm a rookie, I'm playing as under the radar as possible. I'm not saying a word. If I have a vet, I'll listen to what they say. If I'm rookie, you just shut your mouth. Like, you don't say a word. You don't piss anybody off. You do that type of move when there's less players in the game. You don't do it right out of the gate when there's especially 34 fucking people in the game. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing, and this is where whatever that Emmy chick or whatever the situation is, here's where Emmy fucked up. The way it's not like when you have information like that, you can't just come out and be the kid in the classroom who raises their hand and tells the whole classroom that the guy next to him is texting on his phone. You can't do that because you look like a little bitch. But what she should have done is she should have gone to Tori, because Tori has an alliance and some numbers, and she should have said, hey, I just got some information that I think you would like to hear and I think you should know, but I want to have some sort of like assurance that like if I tell you this and you're aware of it, I want to have some safety from you. That's how you get power in this game. Because if she would have told Tori, like, did Tori think that Michaela chick was a threat? No, probably not. But because Anissa is a part of Tori's alliance, and that's such an easy decision for them to all just team up on the rookies with a reason. Like, it was perfect. And Emmy could have easily gotten herself in a numbers game with some strong veterans. And instead, she's just the kid in the class who everyone hates because they're just a fucking tattletale. So, like, I don't hate the fact that she brought it up, but I think how she brought it up was terrible.
Oh, she could have played her card so much. And like you said, I think what you said is spot on. The fact that she could have just held that information and be like, hey, Tori, I got some good information. Let me into your alliance. Trust me, like, I can be a spy under this and we can get her done. She basically just did it for free. Like, she didn't give anything, and, you know, tough look. Anything, Alex, on that or no?
No, I think we kind of covered it. The whole list was, I don't know exactly what it was, but I mean, obviously
it was like the people she didn't want to go against elimination with. Then it was kind of like a meh list, and then the people that she didn't want to see in elimination versus her. So, like, the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of thing.
Yeah, and you could tell, like when the vets were talking, like CT was drinking his coffee and Nisa was eating her biscuit. They heard that and they were just like, "Oh, let's send him in."
Do they eat this? Oh, sorry.
We don't care. Send him in.
So then we go to the voting, and how do we feel about this voting now? Tej isn't there. I'm not a huge fan.
Well, there's a few different things about this whole voting part that I think are kind of different from some seasons that we've seen. One being that TJ's not there. I also thought it was kind of interesting how, like, last season, the winning team wasn't there in the room. Whereas this time it seemed like the agency was in the room, everybody else voted, and you also found it out right away. Like, you were able to, like, everybody click their little button, they show who has the most votes. And how can they not, like, there's people standing up behind people who are sitting down typing in their answers. Can you not spy on them? It is Spies, Lies, and Allies or whatever. Why not?
Yeah, I know. That was kind of ridiculous. I mean, they're using, like, fucking iPads. You can clearly see the iPads, like, the space between is just out of control. My question is, too, like, you know, with 34 people, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or 30 minutes, or whatever they had, you know, I feel like that's a reasonable amount of time. What happens when the game gets down to, like, 5 people, you know, like 10 people, and they're just, like, in there for 20 minutes? I'm just picturing, like, they're just going to be like, all right, so we're going to vote in Anissa. She's going in this week. And everyone's like, anything else? No. So, what do you guys?
Wait.
Right.
So in your scenario, when there's 5 teams,
all right, sorry, I should have said
part of those 5 teams.
God.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry. So the voting happens, and this is basically when, you know, Tori gets pissed, and she basically calls out the rookies or the one rookie group, which was, who was that group? It was Michelle and Corey were the group.
What?
Who was the who did the list? It was Michelle.
Michaela.
Mixing up the two names. Michaela did the list.
And who was her partner?
Renan. That was who she went in with.
Yes.
Rhino.
God, I am so lost with all these names. I literally just need a full, you know, like the TV crews have for, like, an IU basketball game. If they're on the sidelines and they have, like, oh, this is Trace Jackson Davis. Here's his face and a little thing. That's what I need for this season. I have no idea any of these people. Good Lord. So Michaela gets called out, and she is, like, you can just see it in her face, just a deer in the headlights. She knows she's fucked. And, like, Tori's jabbing at her. The rookies are throwing under the bus. You see freaking CT, you know, a classic like this. I mean, it's just a classic challenge scene of, like, episode 1. You know you're caught.
Everybody's, oh
shit, you know, yeah, exactly. So very interesting with that. And yeah, I mean, basically, I think the voting was pretty easy, and they kind of just throw Michaela in, and yeah, easy enough there. So no surprise there. And then after that, elimination, correct?
Yep.
So the elimination, we have Anissa and her partner, God, don't even know his name, sitting up on the stage, getting ready to choose. And it seemed like they were going to choose Emmy and I don't even know the names of these people. And TJ throws the curve. So what do we think about this curveball? They can basically choose one guy and one girl. What do we think? I think now is going to be a time where it's going to be very rookie-esque. Once we start going down in the game, I think it's going to get very dicey. I mean, I brought it up to the boys earlier. Could you imagine, like, I don't even know, let's say Nelson winning a challenge and him saying, yeah, we're going to choose Fezzi to be partners with, like, Big T or something. Like, how wild would that be? Like, I think this sets up a really good end, but it also screws us up because now we're going to have 50,000 teams for this entire season. So, yeah, anything on that?
I think doing this twist means that alliances are more crucial now because you have to be close with everyone. You can't just like have like in Kyle's instance when he talked about why he picked Amanda, that's great. Like that she has these other ties and everything, but it can be very short-lived. Like if someone likes Amanda and hates you, there's nothing stopping them from throwing you in and not screwing over Amanda. So I think it's going to put more emphasis on alliances, which I think for this season, the whole Spies, Lies, Allies, the list, all that stuff, I think it's going to help it out because that's the main focus here. And I think this twist just adds gasoline to the fire.
Yeah. Alex, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's like the only reliance you can have on your teammate is when you're actually performing a challenge. Because once that challenge is over, you could be picked, your partner could be picked, you could be changing teams after the elimination, whatever the case may be. I don't know if yet I'm a fan of it or not. I think I'm kind of wait and see. I thought the double agents little like where you can switch after, which is kind of what this is too, but it's kind of like they're just taking one step before that in terms of who you can pick to go into elimination. I feel like this might be a classic example of the challenge trying to do too much and trying to throw in one too many twists. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know if teams are going to kind of still default to just picking an entire team or thinking about who their top targets are. I did like, though, and like obviously we're kind of into the elimination now. I did like in this instance that it ended up with 4 rookies being in the elimination. Like, I love that just for this episode, this influx of rookies we have. Fucking get 4 of them in there. Now we see that it's probably going to be 2-on-2 every time, teams of 2. So I don't know how I feel about the twist overall. We'll see. But I did like that this time it ended up with all rookies going in there.
Yeah. So we have the elimination, and was this elimination basically just created because of CT and Bananas?
I would say so.
So the elimination happens, which is fake Corey gets called in. First off, fake Corey gets called in, which what the hell was that? Like that was just made no sense. And then they choose Michelle, which was from a different team. Like why not stick to the same team? Did not know the reasoning there. So we had fake Corey and Michelle go against Renan and Michaela. Honestly, this could have gone any direction. I could care less who would have won. But, it was a pretty standard elimination. It was kind of who could pull each other off. And the winners of this was fake Corey and Michelle. So what did you guys think of the whole elimination? Did you guys like it? Did you guys didn't like it? Or anything else?
I think after the elimination, I was more a fan of it than I thought I would be. Because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't like it was almost like if you start with your back to the opponent and you're just trying to pull them to the other side. Like if the side that you start looking at is the side you're trying to fall down, right? And so basically what could happen, and I think what did happen, is you could like swivel around during the elimination so that you could either push them or pull them, however you ended up landing. I mean, I liked it. I liked how it was physical. I think it was kind of weird that they did something like that with a guy and girl strapped together. Like, I think they maybe could have done it like guy against guy, then girl against girl or whatever. I thought it was okay. It's just like a classic. I thought it was a classic. They've been doing the challenge for 37 seasons. They're trying to think of like new physical things that they've done that are basically not necessarily new, but just adaptations different versions of what they've done in the past. I think this is just a classic example of that. It was fine.
I think the one thing that we have to applaud, I'm happy for it, I'm curious on your take of this, is thank God it's like, I don't even want to call it a double elimination, but like a team elimination. You know, like in the past, they've called it like a guy and a girl eliminations.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy we're getting 2 people gone. The fact that we're down to 32 and not 33, well, we'll get into maybe 32 and a half. But, yeah, like –
speed it up.
Thank God, yes, exactly. I just feel like it's just so much better to see 2 people go home than one. One is just like, what are we doing? Like, it's a waste of an episode. Especially like if it's a rookie, like it's boring. So I'm glad we're back to that. Sorry, Andy, what were you gonna chime in there and say?
I don't really remember.
All right, and that was Talking Andy.
So the losing team is Michaela and Reno. Adios.
I hope to see. I mean,
no. Wait, was it?
No, Reno. I'm kidding. It's Brennan. I think. All right.
I mean, they're gone. They're gone.
Yeah, we hope so. Redemption house. Allah, it's gonna be Redemption Big Brother house or something. So this is the part where we're gonna just get lost in the sauce. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Choosing people. It would just be easy enough, you know, if TJ was like, all right, so since you guys won the elimination, you guys are a new team together, right? Wrong. Now they can choose anybody they want. And I mean, what are we doing here? Like, this is just gonna get out of control. Like,
well, and one of the kind of triggers of all of that, which we have to talk about before we completely get lost in the sauce, is Nam.
Well, I was gonna wait till the end of that, but I mean, come on.
Nam,
He broke a record tonight. He broke a record. I believe he is the first person to have been in, I guess, a season of the challenge and not say one word. He didn't say one word. I think the last image of him we got was literally it was nothing. He didn't say one word this entire season. No confessional. They just kind of kicked him to the curb. And I know I think it was like a COVID case or they couldn't let him back in the country or something like that. But still, you got to say something. They're just like, no, will not be joining us again. Like, come on. Like, so disrespectful. I had him 5th on the power rankings.
Because in our preview and even from last season, like we would always joke about how Nam was just like this, just mute. He didn't say a single word. He was there for a long time last season. You could kind of see him on camera from time to time, but he always had that little Pikachu face, like not saying a word. Lolo kind of made him her bitch. And so like we were watching tonight's episode and about halfway through, we're like, well, we haven't heard anything from Nam, and like jokingly saying like, oh, maybe he's gone. and then we get to the elimination and TJ gives, we got to do the timer. I think we've done that before with people who have been like kicked off or disqualified, or whatever, or left. We've done the timer to see how long TJ's explanation is. And TJ literally got up on stage and said, yeah, one of our agents, Nam, has been deactivated. And that was it. And that was.
I mean, it was just so like under the rug. Like, I mean, they did him so dirty. Last thing I would bring up about, or if you want to say something real quick, Andy.
Yeah, can I just say something about good old Nam?
God.
I called this out last season, and I got shit for not liking Nam and not saying I was aboard the Nam train. I hated Lolo. I hated Nam. I was very adamant that like Nam's just not the guy. He was not made for this show. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like a buffoon. Like he needs to be so far away from this show. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was COVID or what. Couldn't get in the country. But it's just not going to work, buddy. Like, cut your losses.
Do we think I already know Andy's response to this, but do we think he will ever make an appearance again on the challenge, or is his career officially done?
I think he's done.
He's done. His first season, he was dipping the toes in the water. Then he was like, okay, yeah, maybe I like this. And then he got like waist deep, and he said, no, I'm out. Give me a towel. I'm done.
Trev, let me put
I like Nam. I know we give him a lot of shit and stuff. I mean, he's just
How do you like him?
that face. He said 0 words. 0 words. I mean, come on. Like, you can't give him any airtime.
Trev,
or like one scene saying like, yeah, if it was like an injury or whatever, saying like, I think I'm gonna go get it.
Did he get hurt last season?
Nam's lower back.
I mean, he's almost like a Colts quarterback or something, just constantly getting hurt or something.
It's a revolving door.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, what else we got, Alex? Anything else, or?
I mean, I don't know where the fuck we are anymore.
The teams.
All these rookies.
The updated teams now. So we had Michelle choose Devin, which I don't hate that pick, kind of sliding under the radar. But then again, you can just choose anybody to go in, so it doesn't matter. The only thing matters is if you win. So not sure if Devin was actually a great pick. Then you had fake Corey choose Corey and Tori. Then you have Emmy choose Ed. Who's Ed?
Well, it sounds.
Who's Ed? It sounds like a neighbor that would just live across the street from you for 20 years.
It sounded like TJ didn't give Emmy or Ed an option. He just said, like, the way he explained it was like, Ed, because you're new, and Emmy.
Oh, that's Ed.
Partner's gone. You guys are now partners. And then the last team, the last 2 people standing were Kells and Tracy. There's a Tracy.
Who?
There's too many fucking people.
Wait. So they're doing a rerun right now on MTV. I've been watching it. Did you know there was a guy named Jeremiah?
Yeah, a couple seasons ago.
This was a team that was picked for the summer. Do you know the great team, the all-star team of Jeremiah and Tatcha? That's a team on the ground.
Ryan McCord with the great point. TJ brought out Ed as if we all should know exactly who that is.
I got vibes. I literally got vibes. The higher level guys will know this one. I literally got vibes of who's Milton. I mean, I just got those vibes the entire things.
Ed was literally running out with the long hair, like kind of pointing to himself, like, it's fucking Ed. Ed is in the house now.
You know who I thought it was?
Enrique's here.
When I first saw it.
Flick it.
When I first saw it, I literally thought it was the guy. It was who was partners with Natalie like a couple seasons ago with the long hair from Big Brother. Victor Arroyo. Yeah. That's who I thought it was. Oh. I mean, hey guys, I'm Ed. I'm a rookie. Love you guys.
And I kind of want to be mad at the challenge producers for not taking a clear opportunity to bring in a much needed vet. But at the same time, I feel like we kind of discussed it in our preview. Like, they don't care anymore. They're kind of trying to shove down as many rookies as possible,
dude,
at one time. And so they just bring in fake Victor, Ed. What's up? I'm Ed. Flick it.
It's so bad. I mean, we talked about it during the preview show and stuff. I mean, Jesse Adams brings it up now. We have a guy from the 12 Days of Christmas. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, where are we pulling these people from? You're telling me we're choosing people from 12 Days of Christmas? Like what?
And Jordan and Bananas are sitting at home, and Wes, and everybody.
Here's how I picture this. I picture this like, they're just having a production meeting, and they're like, "What do we need?" And you have person number A just kind of be like, "We need rookies," and then you have person number C just in the corner or whatever, and he's just like, "Yeah, we need like Jordan, Kara, Bananas, the OGs of the world." And then that person gets fucking killed on the spot. Like, I mean, what are we doing? Like, I don't know.
It's going to be a long season. This episode was good. I think we all had a good time tonight. It's going to be a grind, I think, depending on how early some of these rookies get cut off, it's going to be a long season.
Oh, trust me. So you guys better get your drinks ready, come prepared. Like I said in the past, we couldn't get it approved for EP1, but we do have a sponsorship coming, so be on the lookout for that. Should be pretty exciting.
NIL.
God. So should we go right into segments?
Let's do it.
So I think our first one is prop check, and I think Alex has the list of props that we made, correct?
Yeah. I think first segment, part of my prop. I think we're just going to do a quick 30-second segment each episode to check in on the props that we all gave in our preview. And I think so. Mine that I gave was and they're all for the season, but mine that I gave was a over/under half a mention of a pregnancy. That did not hit. That's the under still alive on that one. Trev, I think, was like yours was like 12 or 13 LVPs for Fezzi. So even if we all went that way tonight, we can't reach that. Andy had the Josh Cry, which I don't think we had the Josh Cry tonight.
We barely had any Josh.
We didn't have any. That might come up in a future segment tonight. And then I think the last one was how many times Corey mentions his kids.
And that didn't come up. I said on record he would be the first or under 2.5 confessionals and to mention his kids. Didn't happen.
So I think all of our props right now are sitting at the number 0.
Not ideal.
None of them have occurred yet. But 34 people, we got a long fucking way to go.
So our next segment that we have tonight is Radar Watch. What are we thinking with Radar Watch? Because I feel like we can go with a lot of different people this way. I think my Radar Watch that I think I might say is for all of us, and this is just a group one that I would say, is under 5 episodes for us to memorize all the names of the rookies that are still left in the game. Just something under the radar we have to memorize is what I'm saying. Because there's no chance. That's what I'm saying. We got to memorize these people somehow. And we got to come up with a way. Because next thing, I mean, Ryan McCord is going to be literally screaming at us, name this pairing, and we would have no idea. So my Radar Watch actually, though.
To explain to some of the new listeners, Radar Watch is essentially to ask the question, who is sliding under the radar? And we usually do it probably first half of the season because there's so many fucking people. Towards the end, we kind of just cut it off because everybody gets equal airtime. But we like doing it at the beginning of the season because it's just we ask the question, who is flying under the radar? We give our picks, and then we typically ask the question, who is that person? I don't know who that person is. So Trev, you have a pick ready? Because I got mine ready for Radar Watch of the week.
I mean, I could choose every rookie in the game, but I'm not choosing a rookie. I'm going with the vet, and I'm going with the defending champ. CT. I think CT, and maybe it was just EP1. Did he have any screen time tonight? Like besides like the one shot of him, what's it called? When he got chose by a partner.
Kind of hiding behind the.
Yeah, hiding behind. I think that was the only airtime that he actually had tonight. So we'll see with him, just playing the nice little quiet game and sliding right under U.S. dollars. Alex, who you got for us?
My pick, I am going to go a rookie. I feel like it's almost harder in this episode's Radar Watch to pick somebody who would not be a good pick. Because I think there's it was so all over the place that you could say 20 different names, 30 different names. That would be a good pick for this. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to say a name of somebody who is actually on tonight's episode of the challenge. And my Radar Watch for episode 1 is going to be Lauren.
Who? No, seriously, who?
Lauren. We just watched the 37th season of one of our favorite shows of all time. And there was actually somebody on there, a female named Lauren.
Who?
What do you mean?
Honestly, Alex, I really think if you were to – how many rookies are there? 17-ish? 18?
17, I think. Well, Ed.
I think if you cut their names out and I had to match their names to their faces, I think I get 9 out of the 10 or 9 out of the 18 or whatever, 17. I don't even – yeah, I think I would do that badly. I have no idea these people. Lauren, there's
no way there was a Lauren on today's episode.
At the end of the day, there's no chance there's a person named Lauren. Lauren what? And what's she from?
I think it's the Goof's partner right now. There is a Lauren easily confused with, I don't want to take picks here, but easily confused with Tracy, who was brought up in the team swap.
Wait, who's Tracy?
What are you talking about?
Tracy Jackson Jones Davis? I mean,
my Radar Watch is going to be Lauren.
You have to pick someone on the show.
Yeah, seriously, stop fucking around. All right, Andy, who you got for us?
I'm going to pick someone who I brought up earlier. My Radar Watch is going to be Jeremiah. Jeremiah is, I guarantee you, the next and also last time that we actually hear about Jeremiah on the show is when he's going into elimination and then he loses that elimination, and that is all we will ever hear of Jeremiah.
Wow. All right. Interesting Radar Watch.
We had CT, Lauren, and Jeremiah.
So I think it's now for one of our favorite segments of the night, good old MVP, LVP. Chat, you guys know what to do. Send us the order that you guys want us to answer. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. So I'm just reading some of the chat right now. My Radar Watch is TJ. I mean, interesting pick.
Not a bad pick.
Alex must be watching American Idol with that Jason guy from last year, Joseph Allen from America's Got Talent. God, how about that rap video? I feel like we always bring that up.
You always bring that up.
You know who else we need? Can we bring back Tony? Wow, we got some.
We have two. Do the same.
It looks like Trev going last is pretty common. So, yeah, we'll stick with that. So we'll go with the Alex, Andy, Trev combo. Alex, the first MVP of Spies, Lies, and Allies.
All right, I'll kick it off with MVP, and then we'll do a snake draft. You guys give your MVP picks while we do it. I don't know about you guys. I feel like this episode is fucking tough to give either of these picks to because it's just so all over the place. I guess if I had to give an MVP for the episode, my pick is going to be, maybe it's a cop-out, but it's a great pick. I'm going STP live chat.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
I'm going STP live chat. I have a couple honorable mentions I'll save for later. I just don't think there was that one or two challengers that popped off the screen tonight because you had to get 30 people plus Ed and Nam and Enrique their airtime. So I think just when I think about this episode, I'm going to think about the excitement that I and all three of us have to get the STP live chat back. ready, going on YouTube. I'm sure we're going to have some new listeners, some new regulars this season. So I'm going MVP episode 1, the Stir the Pod live chat, because it's been months of anticipation, and I'm finally glad to have everybody back.
Wow, great pick. Andy, who you got for us?
So I actually did think there was kind of a clear MVP, and I'm glad I get to take him. My MVP is going to be Nelly T. I mean, he's hilarious. Like I can't not watch him and just laugh my ass off. He's just a funny guy. Like he's the best. And the fact that in that confrontation with Fezzi, where Fezzi still kind of has that, oh, I'm the big man. Oh, look at me, pound my chest, but I can't eat any food. When he's doing that to Nelly T, he doesn't care. He's just like, no, dude, I don't like you. Amanda's my little sister. Like, I'm looking out for her. I don't like you. Like, he was very clear about that. So the fact that Nelly T was just like, no, like, you fucked me. I'm not just going to say that we're cool or that I'm not going for you or I'm not going to tell Amanda to, like, not talk to you. He was just like, look, I don't like you, plain and simple. So easy MVP for me, Nelly T. I hope it's not the last time I give that.
Wow.
That's a good pick. That's who I was between him and the live chat. Great performance tonight. He's the way he talks in his confessionals as if he's like portraying the most dramatic like scene in any movie ever is just hilarious. And we kind of had him back last season, but he went home very early. So, and he's the poster boy, I think, for this season. He's literally front and center of the poster. Nelly T, great pick.
Wow. So my MVP tonight, I was thinking Nelly T. It's a great pick. But my MVP tonight, and I knew I was going to do this, and I think it's something unique, and I don't think we've ever done it on Stir the Pod ever. So my MVP tonight is security breaches. And the reason why I'm choosing security breaches is, Andy, what do you think about Fezzi tonight?
He sucks.
Is that all you have to say about him?
About Fezzi tonight? Yeah, he's an asshole.
All right. Well, let's hear from the man, the myth, the legend, Fezzi.
What's up, Andy? It is Fessy from The Challenge, but you already know that. Somebody, your buddy Adam, booked you this cameo. So Adam's telling me, Andy, you're 5'9" and you think you could take me in a hall brawl. So height has nothing to do with it. Obviously, I'm a lot bigger than you. I don't know how much you weigh, but I'm not going to say you can't, but your chances are probably slim to none. I've been playing physical sports my whole life, but you already know that, Andy, because I say that shit all the time because it still doesn't get through y'all's dumbass head. But anyways, it's all love. I heard you host a challenge podcast, and you ranked me 8th out of 8 on the male vets. Well, I don't know how successful your podcast is, but I've never heard of that shit. So probably need to adjust your rankings, and maybe you'll get some more viewers or listeners or whatever. But I can help you with that. 8 out of 8. That means you think. So I don't know what season it's for. So you think Kyle is a better competitor than me? That shit wasn't even close in elimination. You think Nelson's a better competitor than me? I don't know. Man, there's some good competitors. I'm not saying I'm the best one because, obviously we don't know how this season plays out that's about to come out. But I haven't won one, so I talk all this shit. But I talk all this shit because we go on the show to compete, right? And when people don't perform well or whatever, they make excuses. And a lot of people say I made excuses when I didn't win the final because I didn't eat the shit. If that's how, MTV fans saw that, and that's how it kind of got played on the episode, was the reason we lost because I didn't want to eat. Maybe looking back on it, I should have ate the food and see what would have happened, but that was a lot of food. Nobody likes eating the food, but if I had a real shot at $1 million, of course I would have ate the food. It would have fucking sucked, but I would have ate it because I was that close to $1 million. But Casey's patella tendon was torn in half. There was no chance. What people say, put her on the back. That was 1 hour into the final. If you guys are challenge fans, the challenge finals are 2 days long. That was 1 hour into the final. Let alone all the physical, or not physical, but precautions the network and safety team has to take. They didn't let Kyle continue a hall brawl because his little finger was bent a little bit. Look at this. My shit's bent too. You think they were going to let Casey continue on the side of a mountain in Iceland for 2 more days with a patella tendon torn in half? Come on. So that's what people got on me. I didn't eat in the final, but I whooped everybody's ass in every elimination. I made it to back-to-back finals. I didn't win yet. But, you know, it is what it is. You got to change your rankings up, man, because you're not – I mean, it's a popular thing now to hate on me because I talk shit and everybody hopped on that train, but I don't think that shit's going to last because I've only been on 2 seasons. What happens when I get – you know, if I do come back, you know, for another season, this is my 3rd season that you're about to watch. I mean, time will tell all. So, I mean, might as well be early to the party, Andy, because it seems like you're still on that train. But anyways, I might have to listen to your podcast. It might be a funny one, and I'll give some insight on it. But you're definitely not beating a hall brawl, man. I promise you that. But, yeah, good luck with your podcast. And don't forget the challenge Spies, Lies, and Allies premieres August 11th, 8 p.m. MTV, which is tomorrow. But you already know that. You're going to watch me on TV. Regardless if you're a fan or not, you still got to see me on your TV, Andy, and talk about me. So good luck with that. It's all been fun. I like to talk shit. Hopefully you like to talk shit, and this doesn't hurt your feelings too bad, Andy.
I mean, where do we even begin?
All right. Hold on. We can now say without a doubt that I own fucking real estate in Fezzi's head. I own real estate up there, and it's not even close. He talked shit for about 10 seconds and then went on for like 3.5 minutes about like backing up his case because I had him 8th of 8. Oh, Fezzi, you know Fezzi's 8 of 8. Oh, but he didn't want to eat because he wasn't going to win. Is that a joke? Oh my God, that could not have gone better. Like, he just proved why he's 8 of 8. I want to get him 10th out of 8. I mean, that is just insane. Right out of the gate, it was like, oh shit, Fezzi's put me in my place. And it did not take long for the tides to turn, and I'm the big bad wolf staring right down at him. He's pleading his case to me as why he should be higher than 8th. Guess what, Fezzi? You just got bumped to 10th. You child, you coward. That I'm on cloud 9 right now. I could not be happier. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, shout out first off to our longtime AWL and former co-host Adam Meadows for that. We had this in the works for about a week or so, and we were itching to throw this out at the right time. So yeah, love that. And let me tell you, when we got it back, me and Adam were so worried about what he would say. We were hoping he would just dig in. And then he sends me the file, and it was literally 4 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes and 53 seconds long. And we're like, how much rambling is it? And we were debating on literally just shortening the clip of like the first 60 seconds and just airing that. But we're like, no, this is so much better. We got to get the full Andy take on all 3 minutes and 53. But I mean, so yeah, I guess MVP for me would obviously be Security Preaches, presented by Adam Meadows for that. So. My LVP, and without being said, I really just want to give it to that video right there. But I'm not, because I'm hoping I'm just kind of like throwing a little D Wade lob up to somebody to just kind of talk about it a little more. So I won't do that. My LVP tonight is going to be, it's got to be Michaela. I mean, by far. I think as a rookie in the game, you come in and you just got to keep your mouth shut, kind of fly under the radar, do everything. And she kind of did the complete opposite. She made a list, it got out, tried to cover her tracks, was just horrible. So let me just say that was horrible. She is my LVP tonight. Hope to see you never. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. Next up, Andy.
All right, well, here comes LeBron to slam it home. My LVP for tonight, and I promise you, this was my LVP before the last 10 minutes of the show. My LVP for tonight is the one and only 6'5". He's played physical sports. He hasn't won a challenge yet, but he's still out there to prove everyone wrong. My LVP, 1 episode, 1 vote for Fezzi. I mean, and I'm sure I'll end up getting sucked back into the video, but I'll try to keep it episode focused to start. I mean, yeah, he was making out with Amanda a little bit. By the end of it, he was also calling her bro. So I don't know what the hell that's about or what they were doing up there at the University of Tennessee, but he wasn't doing anything fun. He wasn't being like, he didn't seem like he had that presence about him like he usually does, because he's like got the loudest bark of anyone on the show, Chattanooga. But he didn't do anything to help his game. I don't know who his partner is. It's very clear he doesn't have Nelly T on his side. It's very clear that he doesn't really have anyone else like helping him because no one can trust him. I think he's got the biggest target on his back. He didn't do anything to help out his game. And oh, by the way, I own real estate in his fucking head. So he's my LVP, and I'm happy to give that to him.
All right. And our last LVP for EP1 is Alex. What do you got for us?
So I got a question for you guys, because I don't know if we've ever kind of done this if we've twisted these rules in the MVP LVP. But I guess the first question would be, so Trev, what was your official MVP?
My official MVP will be security breach. Yeah, I'll leave it at security breach, with an honorable mention to Adam Meadows, who is, and I kind of lowered the scale. He is a co-founder of Stir the Pod. Very, very Eduardo-esque compared to the Zuckerbergs here, but you know, he's still part of it.
Okay, so why I brought that up is because I was going to ask if I could forfeit my LVP and pick another retroactive MVP, being Adam, because I didn't know that before I gave my pick.
Well, you should have gone after Trev. So no, I'm saying no to that.
So is your pick then? I just want to give Adam credit somehow.
Here's what we'll do. We'll give
security breaches presented by Adam Meadows.
Well, no. We'll give the STP MVP to Adam Meadows, because we all have to have our own individual ones, but we'll give Adam Meadows the STP MVP award for tonight. Fair? Because I think we all need to tip our cap to him, and I think that's
Adam Meadows.
AWL.
So what about this? Something we've never done on Stir the Pod. What if we do individual MVPs, individual LVPs, in one group MVP LVP for this entire season? Who says no?
What if? Wait, I didn't.
All right, Alex, LVP. Who you got?
My LVP episode 1. I'm gonna go Renan.
God.
I mean, I don't.
The F1 team, Renault.
Riley?
No,
Riley isn't on this. We just talked about him.
all I know is this clown came into the challenge thinking he could last 2 episodes, and he lasted 1. And welcome to the challenge.
God.
You got pulled away by a fake Corey.
God.
So that's my
Great pick.
Full smirk. Well, anything else? I see in the chat a couple people writing, okay, Squid wrote, LVP is definitely Ed. Who's Ed? Who's Ed? I mean, the LVP should definitely be, yeah, Mikey the Doctor just wrote, LVP should be every rookie. I mean, realistically. Yeah. If we're doing a group one, who the fuck are these clowns? Why are they on the show? If we're doing this, do a fresh meet where people actually want to be on the show. None of this. And I don't want to get on another tangent right now, so we'll just leave it at that. So
what are our kind of final thoughts ending the episode, ending the recap tonight? Because I I think like we kind of started with tonight's episode, I think was better than we might have thought. It's still clear though that these first few episodes, however long it might be actually, is going to be heavily influenced by how many fucking rookies they have.
Yeah. I think the thing that we got to look at too, and I know we're all on these high notes. We're getting the cameos of the world, feeling great about this season and stuff. I worry about, and I obviously the chat knows, we all know, episode like 3 through 8. How is that going to look for us? Is it literally going to be us like Andy right now and just drinking every 5 seconds, or what are we going to do? So I think today was a step in a great direction. I think tonight was a good episode. We're back. We're feeling good. The vibes are high. We just need to continue that. We just got to keep growing. And I'm very optimistic, and I'm hoping, but I'm feeling good so far. So if we go back, I mean, some of you BMFEP guys remember where the challenge meter, if we're back. I'm on the back side right now. I think we are officially back. I believe in what they're doing as of right now, but we'll see.
All right, and I think my thoughts from this episode, I'm all in. I am all in. And I know part of that is just the first episode jitters, but this challenge it made me think of the challenge of old days. It made me think of old school challenge. And I think that this format with these buffoons, it's just going to be chaos. Like, I think it's just going to be an absolute shit show, and we're going to be along for the ride the whole time. And as long as we get as much like drama as we got in this one with the whole list and everything like that, these rookies are idiots. They're going to be doing bad moves left and right. As long as we have that, I think it's going to be a great season, because I don't think there's any clear-cut favorites. There's no favorite team. There's really no favorite individuals. Clearly, Fezzi's 10 of 8. But I think it's safe to say this season could go a million different directions at any point in time. And even though I think you're probably right that this cast list is a joke, it's just going to be nuts. I think this season is going to be bananas minus the Johnny.
God. Alex, anything?
No, I completely agree. It's going to be a circus. It's going to be, I think, unlike most challenge seasons that we've ever seen. And we're going to be here recapping it all.
They literally have someone who used to be on the circus. I think that's CT's partner.
Stop.
And Lauren.
Who's Lauren?
Who's Lauren?
And Fake Corey won an elimination tonight.
Crazy. Alrighty, boys. Well, tonight's been fun. Chat, you guys been unbelievable. Thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. We'll be back next Wednesday, same time, same place, for the episode 2 recap. Who knows? We might have another surprise up our sleeve, so we'll get into that. So thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out Duffy. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.